Let's go build a fire.
I've come up and over a hill over there, and that hill's blocking all the wind. So while it's so cold out right now, I don't have that icy wind blowing straight in my face. That's an important factor to remember in any winter or snow challenge. Look at the land around you. Navigate to a spot that's already naturally sheltered. We had a deep freeze for almost all of January, but these last week and a half, 2 weeks of February, it's been too mild. So this whole creek down here was completely frozen, but not anymore. It can be hard to tell how fast the water is actually moving, but you can tell from the top that the current underneath is just going to be wild. Now the first thing for my fire is actually going to be a little shelter for me, because as I process this wood, it might already be a little bit wet, but if any of it's dry, I want to keep that dry. And if I'm just out in the open and more snow comes in, wind starts blowing, that all of my work could be undone. All right, I think I found the spot. Fire there, tarp up here. What I like about this spot right here is where the camera is already a dry spot. There's even some dead leaves so that I might be able to break up and process a little bit to get my fire started. And there's already natural cover, so my tarp's only gonna add extra. Paracord. Now let's go under. Now, as you can see, this is pretty decent, but it's gonna still be pretty cold unless we clear out some of the snow and get a fire started. The idea is if I can clear out a lot of this cold material that's just releasing all this cold air and kind of expose this ground and then get a fire started, that will allow me to stay warmer. Now, in times like this, it's very difficult to find something that is actually dry. So, what you need to look for is, like I said earlier, that natural shelter. Oh, I think I see a good spot. So like this. It's still pretty wet, but I might be able to use it for shavings. One of the best survival tools for starting a fire, this right here. This is just a little pencil sharpener, but it starts to shave and gets me really nice fine shavings. All right, look at that. This is great little tinder for starting the fire. Okay, I've just gone out, processed a bit more firewood here. I'm gonna keep processing this. I'm gonna get this to a much bigger pile, get more twigs, get more tinder and kindling, and Here's the thing. A lot of this wood right here, you know, pieces like this, all snowy and wet on the outside, but are actually pretty dry and dead on the inside. So for a few of each size, I'm actually gonna whittle down the outside, get rid of some of that wet bark, some of that wet material, and hopefully that will give me a nice dry little log to work with. And for now, I'll put these bigger pieces all along this wall so they can start to dry out. We got fire! Let's go. Now with how wet this wood was, I did break out a couple of pieces of my fat wood that I always carry with me. Generally the fat wood is the part that's closest to the tree and closest to the bottom. And then it's filled with all that sap, which is very flammable. But yeah, this other wood's catching and drying out. Until the next one, peace.